Hey, can we skip the local chunks this time? Never agrees with my stomach. If you don't mind, I'd like to speak to Admiral Logan sooner rather than later. I'll be right here.
detected. All non-essential personnel must evacuate the building. Please find the nearest exit and contact emergency services.
金城、こんばんはです。金城、グッドスタンプです。新部分集合、バックコードオメガ、シャン、ポチ。
Must have been hearing things. Call it off. We're clear. What? hear that? There. Watch out! Drop your weapon! Watch out! Go! Give me some cover! Lost contact with the suspect. Suspect is here somewhere. Suspect is in hiding. Suspect escaped. Stand down. You're going down! Contact lost. I know you're here. He's over here. This is pointless. attack. Only one wedge is in.
Administrations come and go in the big city, but SSNN is here to stay. Can I help you? Well, I'll be the judge of that. What's this so-called story about? Corporate greed claims victims once more. And you have evidence to support this claim. Good. The less investigation we need to put into this, the faster I can prepare the broadcast. I don't suppose you want to tell me how you got this evidence. Of course. I just hope your source is as reliable as you think they are. Is there at least a name I can cite as my source? Why am I not surprised? As long as the evidence is adequate and verifiable, I expect it'll be aired within the hour, if not sooner. Now, if you'll excuse me, I obviously have some work to do.
Don't wander into any restricted areas.
I believe you were specifically told that we did not want a body count on this assignment. Wrong. The execution matters just as much. Something you should have learned by now. All the tools at your disposal, and yet here we are. I hope you at least attempted to use the internal neuroamp. And yet not useful enough to avoid a body count? Still, it's good to know the applications are proving themselves. So now it's just a waiting game for SSNN to break the news. Once the story airs, we have another board meeting scheduled to decide how to handle Infinity. Go ahead, Maeve.
The SSNN broadcast has started. Shall I patch it through?
Yes, thank you.
The murders are believed to be linked to a new investigation where Drexler would have been accused of numerous violations, including murder for hire, unauthorized human trials, and corporate theft. Authorities representing the UC and the Freestar Collective have been dispatched to a consolidated mining station and the clinic. Both locations are believed to hold numerous victims. Drexler's motivation appears to be an attempt to launch a new product based off stolen information from a competitor. The details on the project itself have yet to be confirmed, but it's believed that Masako Imada, CEO of Ryujin Industries, may be involved. A series of communications between Drexler and Imada were discovered, where she encouraged Drexler to ignore approval guidelines for human trials. This has been David Barron for SSNN.
Impossible. You set me up. And you freely admit it. My next question would be, who put you up to this? Any CEO can be aggressive. The real question is how strategic they are. Assuming I know exactly how this situation came about, I have only a few things to say. Should Ularu run this company, the reputation of Ryujin Industries will change dramatically. Her unchecked tactics will be heavy-handed, involving murder without question of both the innocent and the guilty. Ryujin may gain financial success, but the percentage is not worth the real cost. Then you're more foolish than I expected. I encourage you to talk to the board members and get their feelings on the subject. Perhaps if I can't change your mind, they can. Then, we can see where your true loyalties lie when the board puts everything to a vote.
I take it Masako wasn't as pleased to hear the SSNN broadcasts as she thought she'd be? I'm sure she does. She knows I'm the only one that could pull this off. And now she's going to have some serious regrets about holding this upcoming board meeting. Which brings me back to you. Masako wants us to acquire Infinity Ltd, which is obviously not on my list of things to do. I need you to persuade the board members otherwise, and make sure they're on our side when I move to vote Masako out. If you can't persuade them, I can only assume you don't have Ryujin's best interests at heart. You have the internal neuroamp at your disposal. There's no excuse for failure. You don't think I've weighed those possibilities? Actually, perhaps I was a little overzealous. Being able to pick and choose the talent as I see fit does have plenty of benefits, and I could hold the garnered good faith over Viv for years to come. All right, I'm convinced. But if this turns into a mistake, I'm holding you accountable. Just get the others on board. The internal neuroamp essentially guarantees success. Banned? Please. Take the hard way if you want, but I'll still expect results. The internal neuroamp is the future of Ryujin Industries. We'll be promoting it to anyone willing to pay. With Masako out of the way and the internal neuroamp finally ready for production, Ryujin Industries will be set for life. Or at least until I retire. Don't be absurd. If you cared anything about the success of this company, you'd know how important the internal neuroamp is. But the internal neuroamp doesn't just bring any level of success. To our competitors, Ryujin's success will be soul-crushing. Our names will be synonymous with profit margins never seen before. Now all you need to do is get out there and make those votes go my way.
I hope you're enjoying your new neuroamp. And how's my favorite patient doing? Not seeing any temporal memory flashes or losing time, I hope. Oh, well, at least tell me what you think of the neuroamp. Well, not the most extensive feedback I've ever heard, but at least it sounds like it's working. So the next question is, what will the fate of Infinity Ltd be? Wow, you're no fun. I guess there's no point in examining their failures. Besides, I don't want any of their research to steer me in a bad direction. I know Masako will be pushing for the acquisition. Well, if she can make it through the current drama, I'd say she's more than prepared to handle anything that gets thrown at us in the future. I overheard the SSNN broadcast. It didn't sound good for her. But Masako's always fully supported my work, which is really all I ask. So until proven otherwise, I'm going to support her as well. Well, this has certainly been the most interesting conversation of my day. All we can do now is look forward to the meeting, right? See you in there.
You operatives really will wear anything. Just the person I wanted to see. I want to get all the details locked down for this meeting, and I believe you to be one of the best sources available. I don't care about your qualifications. I'm only interested in your opinions based on your first-hand experience. You've had the chance to encounter members of Infinity Ltd throughout your assignments here. Do you think they're worth redemption? And why? Oh, I didn't mean in regards to Drexler's actions. More in the sense of, should a superior company like Ryujin make room for so many potentially lackluster employees? That is a plea more well spent on Genevieve or Alexis. I prefer to focus on the numbers and leave emotions out of my decision-making. Perhaps I wanted to see if I could be convinced otherwise. It's easy to say, it's the right thing to do for someone in your position. But for me, Infinity Ltd is a huge financial unknown. It's high risk versus mediocre reward. This is true. Infinity never had the financial resources to match our salary offers. Getting what few capable employees they have at half the salary we typically pay here could have major payoffs in the long run. Next question. What are your thoughts on SSNN's reports that Masako is allegedly connected to Lucas Drexler? A good, neutral answer. One that Alexis would be proud of. I find it difficult to believe that our CEO was truthfully involved in such endeavors. I look forward to seeing what Alexis can learn about the subject. I have faith Alexis and her team can resolve this quickly and quietly. At least as quietly as may be expected after SSNN announced it. I appreciate the insight. I suppose I should ask if there's anything I can do for you, considering how helpful you've been. It's only dangerous to those who can't afford one. Hence the added motivation that will bolster sales. I think we all know how averse I am to chaos. Finances are my forte, so you make a good point. Our competition has yet to truly master neuroamps, but the possibility is there. It's a risk I am unwilling to take. At this time. This has been rather enlightening for me. I appreciate the time.
So much work to do. Great, the bane of my department. If you need something, make it quick. Choose your words carefully. If you expect me to respond to threats, you're sadly mistaken. Now, I can only assume you're referring to Infinity Ltd, and there's only one right decision regarding that corporation. Complete disillusion. All right, I could use the entertainment. Tell me why Infinity is a good asset. I do pride myself on solid contracts. And this one would be especially challenging. My team can handle anything. I see your point. Huh. Well, what do you know? I think you just convinced me. Talent like yours belongs in the courtroom. Nice to know someone is. Everyone's too busy praising its completion to think about the dangers it could represent. First off, if I find out you used that device on me, I will tie you up in court on whatever charges I can conjure for the rest of your life. Second, that tech is one major human rights violation that no legal team wants to fight. I'll do whatever I can to make sure it's either severely delayed or collects dust in storage. Well, I'm both glad and surprised to hear the one person who has one say that. Masako's lucky to have you at her disposal, even if you are a continual thorn in my side. You may be the greatest asset, aside from the internal neuroamp, that Ryujin has. Masako's successor will obviously be Ularu. She's qualified, but a little too heavy-handed for my taste. I prefer a CEO that makes my job easier, not harder. I appreciate the vote of confidence, but it won't be easy, and I have a lot of questions. If anyone can pull through this, though, and stay on top, it's Masako. This exchange has been surprisingly insightful. But now, I really do need to get back to my notes.
Don't tell me. Masako wants to make sure I'm still on her side after SSNN dropped this media bomb on us? Mm-hmm. And I don't have an agenda. Look, I know Masako sent you. She knows I want this deal as much as she does. Now that she's been tied to Lucas, buying up Infinity Ltd. only reinforces the narrative. It's gonna be a hard sell to make this look good. Well, now? Nothing, really. We'd still be saving jobs, offering a sense of security, but all that will be lost when it comes to the public. All they'll see is a hawk swooping in for the kill. Exactly. We don't even know what could be hidden in their financial and legal records. At this point, the less unknowns, the better. All right. I suppose you've earned the right to voice your opinion after everything you've done, qualified or not. So let's hear it. You're not wrong. There's something to be said for loyalty and standing by your own. And, well, if anyone can redeem her in the public's eyes, it's yours truly. Provided she's proven innocent, of course. And what's your second point to consider? The possible backlash on tech like this is not lost on me. However, the internal neuroamp will define the next era of tech, with Ryujin at the forefront. It's not an opportunity you just walk away from. Not when you word it like that. But a product that can settle disputes or help broaden someone's point of view? Then you really have something that consumers will buy into. Well, it seems your talents really do stretch beyond just being an operative. Good talk. Maybe I'll even consult you on future endeavors.
This meeting should prove to be very interesting, especially after that bomb SSNN dropped in their last broadcast. I assume Masako briefed you on her preferred outcome. Good on you. If it were up to me, I'd have shut down Project Dominion a long time ago. I knew it was a grave security risk, and look what happened. Completely. I understand the success it can bring for the corporation, but my only concern here is security. It's not that the board majority fails to see the dangers. It's that they believe we can overcome them. That hubris could easily bring this corporation down one day. I only hope it won't be on my watch. You read my mind. Let's just hope Masako and the others see it that way. Plus, if we vote to acquire Infinity Ltd., we're about to add a significant workload onto my team. The last thing I want to deal with are any more incidents this new neuroamp might cause. I imagine we're looking at months of work. Infinity Ltd. Is obviously not known for their security. I only hope that Masako and the others will be patient with the process. Perhaps one of the greatest Ryujin has yet to see. Let's just hope this case surrounding her is resolved quickly. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to make sure I'm prepared for this meeting.
Keep out of my way, and I'll keep out of yours.
To start this meeting, let me just say that the SSNN allegations are completely false.
And you expect us to just believe that?
If they're false, how did this happen?
I'll be ordering a full investigation, but I have my suspicions, which I'll address once this meeting has concluded. Until then, I'm still CEO, and we'll be moving forward with this meeting to acquire Infinity Ltd.
Do you really think we want a potential criminal? One suspected of being the actual mole here, leading a crucial meeting like this? In fact, I propose we remove Masako as CEO altogether, and nominate myself to take her place.
You can't be serious.
Any arguments against?
Yes, on the fact that I'm innocent and completely capable of doing my job.
I don't think you're qualified to have an opinion here.
If we vote Masako out now, the public will think we're admitting her guilt without any investigation.
Yes, I find this motion to be hasty and ill-advised. Basing a critical decision off an SSNN broadcast is hardly wise.
Let's leave it up to the vote. All in favor? You're kidding, right? I hope you're all aware of the huge mistake you're making by continuing to support Masako.
Enough. At least we all know where everyone stands. Now, let's get back to focusing on what we're actually here for. All those in favor of acquiring Infinity Ltd?
Aye.
All against?
Nay.
Good. Alexis, start drawing up the necessary documentation. Anyone have anything else they'd like to bring up? The internal neuroamp is a key component of Ryujin Industries' success for the next 10 years, if not more. Why would we shelve it after we've finally perfected it?
But I must agree. We can't go through with production on technology like this until certain safeties can be guaranteed.
Very well. All in favor of shelving Project Dominion?
Aye.
All against?
Nay.
We'll start up discussions on how to handle Project Dominion in the future. In the meantime, at least the only person to have one is our own operative. Internal neuroamp research will continue. The dangers have been noted. And don't worry, I'm certain between Alexis and Genevieve, any legal or moral issues will be taken care of by the time it goes to market. Any other matters to bring forth? None? This concludes our order of business for today.
At least if you're here, you're not screwing up out there.
You're looking interesting today.
So, it looks like both Infinity Ltd. And Ularu learned a lesson the hard way. It's unfortunate about Imogene, but in our business, she wasn't the first, and certainly won't be the last. You've proven yourself to be quite the asset here at Ryujin. I'll deal with Ularu, but the truth is business, and I'm wise enough to know she's best kept here. I'll have Dalton put additional securities in place, but she learned a very humbling lesson today. And now that she knows the board majority is behind me, there's little she'll be able to do. Especially since you've proven yourself to be a key asset that worked against her. Of course. But these particular assignments required a certain secrecy that most do not. I truly appreciate what you've done. No operative has held the future of this corporation in their hands like you did. I can imagine this wasn't quite the job you envisioned when Imogene first hired you. It's a lot of pressure for a new hire. I hope that enthusiasm sticks with you for the foreseeable future. Imogene's instincts were right about you. It's a shame ours weren't right about her. I never would have expected to hear those two weren't on the same side. I'll need to launch an investigation to be certain, but I appreciate you bringing this to my attention. Now, as promised, I have your bonus. I hope you'll find it appropriate for all you've done. And I'm promoting you to senior operative. You've more than earned it. It's well-deserved. With your new position, you now have an office with mission board access, and you're free to make your own hours. The mission board holds your assignments, and you can pick and choose to your strengths. Although, I may still have more specific assignments for you. Questions? Good. You may get started at any time, but I suggest you familiarize yourself with the mission board before leaving. You've put in a lot of hard work here recently, so I understand if a vacation is in order. Just don't forget, you still have a job to come back to.
be like home.
When you have a moment, I'd like to speak to you.
have something for you when you have a moment.
Pardon?
Sarah Morgan. It's been, what, almost 10 years?
Admiral, it's, good to see you again, sir.
You're not required to address me as sir. That protocol ended the moment you dropped your clusters on my desk, remember?
Look, Admiral, I'm not here to open old wounds.
Old wounds is an interesting turn of phrase, given our past. Listen to me, Commander. I'm not sure why you're here, but whatever it is, why don't you just get to it?
I'm here because I need your help, Admiral.
You need my help. That's interesting. The last time we spoke, you made it quite clear that you were turning your back on the Navy.
That was a decade ago. Things change. People change. Admiral, please. I didn't come here to argue. I'm here to come to terms with my past.
Your past is sitting in a closed file in the archives. That's where you left it when you walked out on the United Colonies. And what about you? Just who in the blazes are you anyway? Very well. Then, as a good friend, perhaps you could kindly explain to me why I shouldn't have the both of you escorted from the building.
With all due respect, Admiral, this is ridiculous. If you have a problem with me, then there's no need to berate my colleague.
I don't have a problem with you, Commander. I'm simply trying to determine why you deserve the Navy's help. Interesting. Would you care to elaborate, Commander?
It's about Cassiopeia, Admiral. I'm heading back there to find out what happened to the crew of the Dauntless, and hopefully, to bring their legacy home.
That sounds like a dangerous operation. Are you certain it's worth the risk?
I don't know.
I see. The fact that you'd risk your own lives to solve this mystery speaks volumes.
They were my responsibility, Admiral. One way or another, I intend to bring them home.
I understand. And I believe I owe you an apology, Commander. Our last encounter has obviously distorted my impression of your character. What can I do to help?
If you wouldn't mind allowing me to access the files regarding my rescue, I'd be most grateful, Admiral.
That shouldn't be too difficult. I've sent all the relevant information to you, Slades. Was there anything else?
No, Admiral. Thank you.
You don't need to thank me, Commander. I just hope you find whatever it is you're looking for.
We should make sure we're well supplied for the trip to Cassiopeia.
I picked...
To my...
There's something I'd like to discuss.
Hey there.
I can't believe I'm here. It feels like walking into a dream. Thank you. Right now, I feel like I need all the help that I can get. Phew. Okay, so, let me get my bearings for a moment. Yes, this looks correct. Those rock formations nearby look familiar. My old campsite shouldn't be far. Knowing that is the only reason that I'm here. Once we get to the campsite, we'll use that as a starting point to search for the cruise shuttle wreckage. Let's go. This must be some debris from my shuttle. Not exactly a textbook landing, but I didn't have much of a choice. Hopefully we'll find something functional in all the debris. Well, this is it. This is the spot where I spent close to a year waiting for rescue. Not exactly Paradiso, is it? Yeah? Well, inside I'm a shattered wreck. So, joke's on both of us, I suppose. Look at this thing. It's been sitting here rusting. I think we need to grab an emergency power cell to get the ship's computer up and running. Sure, if we're lucky. When I was stranded, I set up a distress beacon powered by emergency power cells. The beacon was up there on the plateau. I guess it's time to start climbing. When you have a few moments, there's something I'd like to discuss. We should have a talk. When you have the time, of course. Well, this is it. This is the spot where I spent close to a year waiting for rescue. Not exactly Paradiso, is it? Yeah? Well, inside I'm a shattered wreck. So, joke's on both of us, I suppose. Look at this thing. It's been sitting here rusting. I think we need to grab an emergency power cell to get the ship's computer up and running. No, I'm afraid that it can't. It's only designed to power individual systems. Even if it could, my old shuttle is far too damaged to be fully restored. Sure, if we're lucky. When I was stranded, I set up a distress beacon powered by emergency power cells. The beacon was up there on the plateau. I guess it's time to start climbing. There's something I need to talk to you about. Handling those tricky decisions regarding Ryujin must have been difficult. In fact, I'm amazed you were able to deal with them at all. Those types of corporations remind me why I never ventured into business. I can't stand that way of life. Sure. Let me know when you have the time to talk. Handling those tricky decisions regarding Ryujin must have been difficult. In fact, I'm amazed you were able to deal with them at all. Those types of corporations remind me why I never ventured into business. I can't stand that way of life. Sure. Let me know when you have the time to talk.
picked
deck.
I have something I need to discuss with you.
Hey, it's always a good day when you come around.